What is good, y'all? SGG gang, it's your boy SmooveGotGame back with another Detroit Tigers rebuild, and we're getting into season number 3, year 3 of the series. Man, you guys have shown so much love and support, so hey, give yourselves a round of applause. Y'all really balled out for your boy. Make sure you guys continue to show that love and support. Hit the like button and shares it out to more people so that way they can come in and watch it too as well. If you do enjoy the content, feel free to subscribe. It is free and helps your boy, get worth monetization, get towards that monetization goal. But here today, I thought we'd do something fun and something different. We haven't looked at spring training yet, so I wanted to go ahead and show off some position battles that we might be having this year. Of course, shortstop is going to be an area of question with Keith Clemens. First base is going to be an area of question with Spencer Torkelson. Does CJ Cron move over to DH? Do we look to trade him? Does Morris Jones or Drew Jones make the major league roster? And was Nick Solak a good Rule 5 pickup? Those are going to be things that we're looking for as far as in the batting rotation, as we need to figure out who's going to be playing at what positions and how to best proceed off of a year where we had almost 100 wins and really balled out, just got swept in the postseason. And then pitching wise, of course, we know our rotation for the most part, Jackson Jobe and Joey Wynns fighting for that last spot, but also our bullpen, how Andrew Chafin respond, Jason Foley, Ronnie Garcia, guys like that were in the minor leagues coming up. Can they now make the major league roster? Are they going to be worth it? How is our bullpen going to be? And what I decided to do is I would do a couple player lock games. We'll get into a full game too as well, and simulate a little bit too to kind of get through some of the stats, and I can show you guys how these guys are progressing and how my choices get made on how to make a final roster. Give you guys just a little bit more insight onto what goes into my thought process when I make that final 26-man roster for the start of the season. Now, to get into game one, the first person that we wanted to go ahead and take a look at was Drew Jones. We had to put him in against lefties. We have Morris Jones playing against righties, just how their contact worked out. They're better at those two different types of pitchers. And the first thing I wanted to see was how these guys played and performed. That's why these were the first guys that I wanted to jump into a game with. Drew, the first three things he immediately sees are fielding opportunities. So you see the first one, enough speed to keep the runner at second, showed off a decent sized arm there. Here in the top of the second, 2 outs. It's going to be a base hit up the middle. Does he have the arm to get it over the home plate? He's going to launch it. It'll hit one bounce. Wasn't even close. So maybe the arm not as strong as we'd like it to be for a center fielder, but there's still plenty of opportunity to show that. Top of the third here, Bryce Harper is up next. Let's see this speed if he's able to go in and come get this shallow fly ball as he gets it on the run. Great play. So I liked what I was able to see there. I got to show the arm strength a little bit, the accuracy, the speed, his reaction time. So he's going to be a decent fielder. Now, the plate is what he's got to work on. I mean, you saw the stats there, 182 last season when he was at the major league level, did not hit very well. So the choice is, does he sit on the bench or does he go down to AAA and keep extending his average up? Like, even at AAA, he really wasn't playing and performing that well. So I don't know if maybe I need to do like a whole player reset. Maybe send him down to AA if he doesn't do good. Let him ball out there, get plenty of development, then send him back to AAA, let him ball out after he's gotten a little bit more development. Who knows? But the plan is to see definitely if he can make this major league roster, if he is ready. He's at higher overall technically than Morris Jones. I think there's the same potential too. So it'll just be all up to what he's able to produce here. Now, you saw the first at bat, nice simple ground ball out. Here, bottom of the 6th, and what should be, I think, his second at bat, because offense is struggling here today. Not too many hits. He's got a 2-1 count, showing that he's got at least a good amount of discipline. Swings over that changeup. Not able to make any contact on Alex McFarland so far. Gets a 4-seamer on the hands. He's very late on it, so not able to pull it like he probably should have. And it's a nice, easy pop-up for second base. Now, as we kind of look through, of course, people start making their adjustments, subbing people in and out. You see Andrew Chafin has a decent inning there, gives up a hit, but gets out of it pretty clean. Back up for our batch, you see Morris Jones is getting in. He gets a base hit. Verlander comes in, he gets a base hit. Hernandez, for some reason, comes in for catcher, fly out. A couple fielder's choices. Then we got Ronnie Garcia, who we're also trying to see if he can perform well up here. He gets the first 2 to pop out, ground out. We go to ignore the fielding opportunity yet again, get a nice strikeout there by him. So a pretty clean inning. All to lead up to the bottom of the 8th for one more at bat for Drew Jones. Not enough people to go ahead and continue to sub out, so we're going to go ahead and let him get in that bat here. 2-1 count. Works it to 3-1. So once again, showing good discipline, good vision. 3-1 count, gets a 4-seamer or a circle change right down the middle, deep out the center field, trailing away, but he's able to glove it before the warning track. Maybe he needs to hit that weight room too and work on that power, so that ball could have carried a little bit more. But overall, I was pretty happy with what he saw. Obviously didn't get any hits, so we got to see how he sims through the rest of the spring training. Hopefully that's not a bad omen that ruins his development. But we'll see what he's able to do through sim. I also want to shout out some of the other guys that did good here today. I mean, we only had 4 hits as a team, 2 of those by CJ Cron. So shout out to him going 2 for 2 on the day. But everybody struggled at the plate, so it wasn't just him. Can't put it all on him when 20 other guys struggled. Pitching staff wise, Severino 3 earned runs in 3 innings isn't good, but at least the other guys came in and did work. Anderson and Espinoza gave up 2 hits and an earned run, but other than that, everybody else clean. A couple of strikeouts there for Casey Mize, which is really promising, and even Ronnie Garcia and Jason Foley getting a strikeout as well. As we go ahead and jump into game 2, which we play against Baltimore in the spring training, we got Morris Jones, who in his only at bat was able to launch a single. So we'll be able to see if he's able to kind of keep up the same type of luck as a runner is at first base. No outs here in the second. Gets a knuckle curveball to hit. Unfortunately, it goes right to the outfielder late on it. On that one, maybe wants to pull it just a little bit to have success for the hit there. So just a little bit behind. But it's his first time seeing major league pitching. This is his very first major league pitching experience. He's got a little bit of work at AAA, a lot more work at AA. And so far, he's having similar type of luck. As that one grounds right to second base, not able to do anything with it. And today he wasn't able to have much success there either. In the field, he looked, just about as we always seen. Speed is there, arm strength is actually there, and they started to go ahead and do their normal substitutes, getting guys in and around in the outfield, infield, so that way we can see everybody's stats in here. Top of the ninth, we got a save situation. Let's get Alex Lange out there early and often, so that hopefully he can work through these moments where he just disappears. He's able to lock this one up here and give us a great performance. Nice clean inning, 1, 2, 3. And this time around, we end up with 8 hits, scoring across 3. Eric Haas had a 2 for 3 day. A couple of other 1-hit games spread throughout there. Cesar Hernandez got one, his only at bat. Same thing for Nick Madden. And we were able to come out of this looking pretty good. Torkelson getting an RBI too as well. See Casey Mize in his start, 3 innings, still no earned runs given up. Luis Severino bouncing back a little bit, 1 inning, still gave up an earned run though. But then the rest of the bullpen, very, very clean. To go into game 3's player lock. New pickup, Gleyber Torres, longtime Yankee affiliate, is now in Detroit, 83 overall. He's got great offense, great power for what I'd be expecting. I mean, he's had 3 back-to-back seasons hitting over 20 home runs. So if he can come in and add that same level of production, mix that in with the other 3 guys that we already hitting over 20, or 4 guys that we had over hitting 20 home runs, that can help the offense just be a little bit more dangerous and deadly. Now, what I wanted to get through, though, was obviously not his first cuts with the team, but at least get some early cuts with him to see if I like hitting with him. And unfortunately, we start off his career here with a strikeout. Not what you would like to see, but the defense is there, and it actually is better than Colton Wong when you look at everything that it produces. Look at this play right here. Behind the back flip, easy double play. Great Gold Glove work there. Going ahead and making a nice play, and he's able to already look clean and sharp as we go top of the 4th, still in the field. Dribbler right to him. Let's see him make the play nice and clean. Tuck it. Throw it up first. Got him. A little bit high on the range, but nice clean play to go to make things work. Now we go back to the plate here. Bottom of the 4th. Logan Webb is in. And we'll see if he's able to get his first hit in Detroit unis. At least while we're watching, is that will go ahead and be caught. So, no, it actually wasn't caught. It got down. So that is a base hit that we were able to go ahead and take advantage of. Now, thankfully, they were not able to, throw him back out of first base. But another base running error here is, I thought that one touched the ground. I was going off contact. Unfortunately, it was caught by a glove. And instead of going back, I just kept it going because I thought it would be a throw on the line. If I had gone back, might have been able to salvage that one just a little bit. But pretty good game from him. We saw good contact. We actually saw somebody get on base with that base hit. This doesn't have the speed to go out and steal. The glove looked good. And then a great home run there by Javi Baez. 3-run home run to help out the team. You see Gleyber Torres getting subbed out there. And we'll go to the top of the 9th with the lead. Alex Lange will come back in. 1, 2, 3. Yet another close situation there. That's a great game by Javi Baez then to come in and hit the walk-off, basically home run. Trying to show and protect his job with Keith Clemens right on his neck. And that's going to be a very tight battle that we're watching. Of course, Gleyber Torres isn't, fighting for a roster spot. It's just more or less seeing, how good he is. Is he going to be able to hold up and be somebody that can be a strong contributor to us? And where he'll be in the lineup. Is he going to be a bottom of the lineup guy? Is he going to be my 3-hitter, my 5-hitter, 2-hitter, 1-hitter? Because some of you guys did recommend using Akil Baddoo at the 1, Riley Green at the 2. All that will be revealed with how they play in this in the spring training. And Akil Baddoo 0 for 3 right now with the 125 average overall spring is not showing leadoff hitter. He might have been a product of his role, which was the 2 spot. You see Morris Jones with the 2-hit game here, 2 for 3. His first double of the spring training, and first RBI as well. Matt Manning, a terrible start here, 4 earned runs in 3 innings, but the rest of the bullpen came through, shut the door. Really proud of Garcia, Foley, Hill, Jackson Jobe even coming in pitching an inning clean. No hits allowed. Now, as we go into Game 4, we still got more people that we need to player lock. And in this particular one, I wanted to player lock Jackson Jobe's first start with the team. And shockingly enough, the very first opponent we have to face will actually be Colton Wong, as he is the person we traded. We traded him to the it wasn't a direct trade him for Gleyber Torres, by the way. In case you guys did miss the offseason video, make sure you guys go check that out to see exactly how that acquirement went down. Just know that it is a coincidence that Colton Wong is on the Yankees and we now have Gleyber Torres. But the moves were made, and he's the very first person Jackson Jobe has to face. 364 average this spring training, and he strikes out, though, here to the young gun as he's looking pretty strong here. Start out the game 1-2. Slider left over the plate just a little bit too much. That'll get down in the gap. So it looks like not long before we see his first hit given up. That is bad defense in the outfield. Now able to pick it cleanly off the wall. Throw will go into third base. Not in time. Lead or 1-out triple because of the outfield doing some BS. And next up is Aaron Judge with already an RBI possibility. And that'll be deep enough. He will make the catch, but that'll be long deep enough to go ahead and score that run. So an RBI sac fly there from Aaron Judge. Continue to be a beast and MVP type of player. Anthony Rizzo, he's up next, looking to try to maybe keep this 2-out rally going. See if he can poke something out of it. 3-2, 20 pitches through the first inning. Gets another strikeout. So not really liking it for pitch count. I mean, he's still going to be out of here after like 3 innings. Guess it doesn't really matter what pitch count is as long as you don't somehow manage to reach 100 by that point. But 20 pitches is a lot. As we chop this one on the ground, throw will go over. Nice, clean, easy play. Good work. Now, I remember when I used to play my franchises back in other MLB shows, and I'd go through spring training. I actually was playing like every game. I would have like pitch count limits for my starter pitchers throughout spring training and gradually get them better. This was back when stamina actually mattered for starting pitchers, and guys could, like, it wasn't a rarity to have a guy go triple digits in his pitch count in a start. It was like not a mandatory thing, but it was like everybody's getting to triple digits basically. You only got pulled earlier than that if it was really, really bad. Like, nobody's stamina was that low. So I don't know if something's happened over the years and stamina is just not as respected as it used to be. But as of right now, what my pitch count used to be, it used to be like the first 2 weeks of spring training would be like 80 pitches. Last 2 weeks, we'd ramp it up to 90 pitches for my starter. And then, going into the first week of the season, we'd keep them at about 90, 95 pitches. And then after about, halfway through that first month, then it'd be full rain, however deep you can go. And because I say these as limiters, right? If they have a complete game shutout, my Tree School Ball on opening day has a complete game shutout. But he's going into the 8th inning as this ball is going back, way back. That is gone. We can't be distracted by story time not to see that solo home run by Jose Trevino. His first of spring training, and Jackson Jobe gives up yet another run and ties this ball game right back up. Not what you wanted to see. We had gave him a 2-run lead, or a 1-run lead with a 2-1 game at least. But yeah, that was back in days where stamina actually mattered to these starter pitchers pretty much. Tree School would have a complete game shutout, but if he was in the 7th inning throwing 90 pitches, I'd go ahead and pull him. I don't want to risk injury. Now, if it was like his 3rd or 4th start, complete game shutout in the 8th, he's got 90 pitches. You're gonna keep going. You're gonna keep going until you either lose the game, or we're either gonna win the game behind you or lose the game behind you. You decide. But I want to give you a chance to get your complete game shutout if you can. Now here, good, strong 3 innings of work. We end up taking the lead right back. And instead of just leaving out of the game and simulating to the end, I decided to go ahead and get a couple more player lock clips here. Let's go ahead and get a couple more at bats. We're going to start out with Gleyber Torres here and get his next at bat. 2 outs, top of the 5th. We're still up by 1. Runners at 1st and 2nd. So a great run scoring opportunity as he's already 0 for 2 in the day with a strikeout and pop out. Facing off against Lewis Gill, who's 16 pitches into his relief debut here. Trying to go ahead and close this one out. That's a good 4-seamer up about chest level. Not able to do anything with it. 1-2. Tries to check his swing, and he'll have to go sit back down as that slider fooled him. They're going to say he went all the way around. So no love there. Not even going to go to the side judge. Back judge is just going to call this one. And he'll have to go take that thing back to the bench with Jonathan Scope. 3-run home run, and we have a 4-run lead now. This is a great ball game. Garrett Hill trying to keep things tight and close. as he'll need a little bit of help from our defense. 1 out. Runners at first and second, and it's Marcus Simeon. He's at the plate, 0 for 2 on the day. 0-1 count, and this will be a ground ball on the ground. It'll go. Gleyber will get it. Not make any throw as he tries to get over to first base. Unbalanced there. Wasn't able to try to get in line for the jump throw. Just kind of conceded it and tried to set his feet. As we go to the top of the 8th now, we are now down 8-6. They've scored 6 runs unanswered. 2 outs, runner at second. We've now switched up as they took Gleyber Torres out of the ball game, and now it's Spencer Torkelson who is in the game trying to make something happen. Took that first pitch and probably could have been a home run if he waits back on it. Swings through the slider. Gets another four-seamer off the plate to try to chase. You see 6,000 people in attendance for a spring training game. I feel like that's a lot, but let me know down below if that's actually not. As we swing through that slider, not able to do anything there. He could have possibly tied up the game with his power, as he has flashed a lot of power since his limited time being up. But just unfortunately, there's nothing much we can do. Tyler Alexander goes in and closes this one out. Morris Jones fly out, strikeout by Nick Madden and Drew Jones. We walk out of here with an L. And that'll be kind of how our first set of games kind of end. So what we'll do is kind of go into a little update, see how the stats are looking after the first basically month or, first week of spring training. Readjust some things, get into some simulations so we can get deeper into spring. Now this game we had 8 hits as a team. You see 2 there for Riley Green. Eric Haas 2 for 3 day 2 as well, with a couple of 1s sprinkled around. Green, Haas first home runs of the spring training. Jonathan Scopes second. And then out of the bullpen, Garrett Hill, terrible outing. Andrew Chafin even gave up a hit and a run, but it wasn't earned. Jose Cenero gave up 1 earned run, 2 unearned, as Morris Jones had a big-time error, I guess, out in the outfield. But a lot of ERAs skyrocketing now, some coming down. As we go and look into the stats, Akil Badu not looking too good as a leadoff fielder. Riley Green is struggling. Gleyber Torres is struggling. CJ Crone is struggling. Eric Haas is performing great. Jonathan Scope struggling. Keith Clemens, everybody's struggling except for Morris Jones and Eric Haas. It looks like as far as the starting rotation goes, you see Baez is over there. He's 1 for 4, home run, 3 RBIs, and his only hit. It's not looking too bad. Looking like he's still fighting for that shortstop spot. Cesar Hernandez is looking good. Nick Solak's 0 for 2. So is Jake Rogers. Nick Madden 1 for 3. Cabrera, he's not doing too good. Drew Jones is 0 for 4. Ryan Credler 0 for 2. Jace Jung 0 for 2. So we got to start getting some of those guys in. And what I'll do is I'll start mixing some of those guys in to start for a little bit and simulate maybe like a week or 2. We do have 4 weeks of spring training. Pitching wise, you see a lot of ERAs are up there. Matt Manning's whip is even at the 2. Jackson Jobe has performed pretty good though. 4 innings, a .5 whip. It just sucks that I guess that 1 hit or whatever he gave up ended up being a home run. And Joey Wentz is yet to have his first start. Anderson Espinosa's looked good. I think he'll be somebody that we can rely on in the bullpen. Of course, the long relievers are doing okay. Garrett Hill's struggling. Tyler Alexander doing good. Chafin is looking like a very good pickup so far. Ronnie Garcia and Jason Foley, limited action, but good stats so far. No earned runs, no whip. Haven't seen much of Jordan Hicks or Yamisi Garcia. And then Alex Lynch picking up 2 saves, which hopefully he doesn't get burnt out this time around because I'm tired of seeing him blow the second half of the season. And what we're going to try to do is just simulate through a couple of weeks to go to get some of these stats put in. As you see, we just rapid fire all the way through about a week's worth of gameplay here, just to kind of come back in and see, okay, now what are you guys doing on sim? You see Morris Jones here hitting about 286 now. As you can see, Riley Green over there hitting about 242s. We took him out of the starting lineup. We already know what he's going to do. Just want to put in as much backups as possible. Spencer Torkelson, Ryan Credler, Jace Jung, Jake Rogers, Nick Solak, just guys like that we know could be potential, possibly make the upper roster. They're getting their chance right now. Keith Clemens, this is how my best way to get them a chance to come in and play and just get some of the guys out that I know is gonna make the roster. Gleyber Torres, Jonathan Scope, guys like that. So with that being in mind, Ryan Credler, who's a guy that just brought up on a whim. I know third base is going to be a need for us here soon, so I want to see what he could do at the major league level, if he can have any success or not. So I decided to go in and get into a player lock game with him too as well, as we're only just about a week in, 2 weeks in to spring training. Getting his first cuts at the plate and having to face off against Steven Strasburg is no easy feat. As he takes that 4-seamer in on the hands, it's going to go deep back. It'll drop right in front of the center fielder. So maybe not quite that deep, and definitely not deep enough to make it over to third base from first. As he's thrown out, it'll be an RBI base hit for Credler. But unfortunately, not anything more to come from that. Now we're up 5-0 here. Gets a slider that was good, just laid on it. He chops it foul. And I like where some of the attributes are at. It could still use some improvement and some work, but just wanted to see if this is somebody that could potentially do good at AAA and make it up here eventually to either be a good role player, good bench player, good tradable player, whatever. But it will be an area that we look at when it comes down to draft time. Now, as you can see here, we're just getting our way through the end of the game. We get a couple more runs to score here. We're up 7-0, so Ronnie Garcia has no pressure at all, and unfortunately gives up back-to-back doubles. He's able to work his way out of, well, never mind. Gives up a third double, and we have to go and use another arm just to get out of it really quick. Now, Credler ends up getting pinch hit for, so we will just have to, this time I'll just simulate to the end. Won't get back in it with anybody else. Tyler Alexander putting in good work here, getting 3 outs before giving up a base hit, but making it all the way through that inning. We go bottom of the 8th here, trying to get a little bit more insurance runs as we are only up 5. Not able to do it, and we will bring in Jordan Hicks, who has done good this postseason so far, or the spring training. So I keep saying postseason, it's spring training. I missed the postseason that much already. We was in and out just that quick. But great game here. Tariq Skubal comes in 4 innings. I moved him back into the rotation so he can get a little bit of work too. Don't want him to get, rusty or anything like that. He's got a pitch opening day, so we make sure he's revved up and arm is loose. You see Morris Jones had a 2-hit game. Akil Badu hit 2-hit game. Keith Clemens had a 2-hit game. Nick Solak went 2 for 4 too as well. As Torkelson gets a home run, CJ Cron gets a home run. We're looking pretty strong as a team now. Runs are coming in, hits are coming in, and the pitching is looking good. You see Ronnie Garcia gives up 2 earned runs, but I guess qualifies enough for a hold because we had a big lead. But that's something to watch out for as we get through these next couple of weeks. It's starting to get more and more clear who's going down to AAA and who's staying up. There's a couple more battles as this is the last 6 games of the spring training regiment, but stats are starting to look through and come through even cleaner here. As the first thing I want to look at is earned runs. Joey Wentz, 15 and 13 2/3. Might be looking at a send down to AAA or maybe long relief role. Jackson Jobe, 12 and 15 1/3. Not too bad at all. Grant Hill, 7 and 10 2/3. Pretty good. Tyler Alexander, 6 and 10 2/3. Even better. So maybe one of them stays up as a long reliever this time around. Matt Manning's looked good. Garcia, okay. Anderson Espinoza, great with 5 and 13 innings. Tariq Skubal, 4 and 12 innings. What else would you expect? Misi Garcia is looking bad. Alex Lange is looking okay. You're starting to get a clearer picture of who's about to get sit down. Jason Foley might even be able to make his way up. Andrew Safin's every bit as advertised from signing him. And the best has been Casey Mize. I mean, of course, Jordan Hicks, 6 1/3, still no earned runs, but Casey Mize has definitely been the best pitcher as far as the inning count that he's gone on. So I can't wait to see his development. Maybe turn him into a 3 or a 2 by season's end. Now, you see our hitting stuff. CJ Cron is leading in at bats, but Spencer Torkelson and Morris Jones actually leading in hits, both hitting over 300. That should tell you something about where the young guys on the team are at right now. Jonathan Scope, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs. Might be back to his power hitting self out of his second half slump last year. And 3 guys over 300 as Jonathan Scope is in that club too as well. Green hitting about 286. Everybody else about 260 or lower. But the bats are starting to look alive too as well. And this is also really revealing on Spencer Torkelson might be able to take over that first base job. I don't know if I see him as a DH because his power isn't there. But CJ Cron could play DH. Let Spencer Torkelson play first base every day. That could be a very fearsome lineup. Keith Clemens is not looking too good in his spring training. Not debuts. He did come up last year too as well. And he hit better last year than he did this year. 196 despite being even better this season. So he might be somebody that's brought down. Jace Jung, Ryan Credler, not ready. Nick Madden, not ready. Cesar Hernandez might even have to go down just because of roster limitations. Now here, I wanted to just go ahead and go through and get each starter one more start since we did have 6 starters fighting for spots. So I go through, simulate, we end up winning one of those 5 games, and that leaves just going back into the pitching rotation and getting back in Jackson Jobe. For the final spring training game this season, he has looked great. He's pitched phenomenally. I mean, he's 0 for 2, 7.04 ERA, but that's also short inning count, not a whole lot of protection behind him, and just knowing that it is spring training, guys are still getting loose. So I want to try to get a full game start here. As you can see what the lineup's looking like. Morris Jones leading off, Akil Badu 2. We got Torres, Cron, and Haas is our 3, 4, 5, which I think gives us a lot of power here. I actually end up switching Haas and Cron as far as against righties. It'll be CJ and then Eric when it's against lefties, but I just like the power differences there. Scope being able to be a 6 hitter, I think will help out a lot. Green being able to hit at 7 will help out with the depth of this lineup. Torkelson at 8, and then Baez being able to be the 9. I think this shows to a lot of our depth here. Now, of course, we still got guys on the bench, guys that are hitting good. Daniel Cabrera's over 300. Matt Verley only hitting 242. Clemens is still struggling, but has 2 home runs. Same thing with Drew here, struggling, but 2 home runs. And I'm sure Credler and Jung are just completely, absolutely not ready. They're definitely going down. If you had any hope about them guys staying up, I'm sorry, I'm going to go ahead and spoil the ending. They're definitely going down. But we will go into the last spring training game. Why not get a full game in for you guys? We're going to really enjoy spring training and really enjoy these battles. Let's see what the full team has just before we get into the regular season. Now, there's something pretty interesting, too, to note about this. I'll see if you guys notice it at the end before I tell you. But if you guys can kind of notice what happens, put it down in the comment section as soon as you notice. There's something very weird about this game that'll show up after the game. So make sure you guys are paying attention. I'm telling you guys now, I'm not going to give you another hint, but just make sure you pay attention. But let's go ahead and get this game started. Morris Jones, 338, an 870 OPS, 6 RBIs, no home runs. He doesn't have like a whole lot of power, but could be a very good leadoff hitter for us if he's going to hit these averages and have that good kind of speed up there with 82 and a good steal as well. So a base hit gets into the outfield here, and already Akil Baddoo up next with that 92 speed. He knows what to do. Just watch that first strike go across. Easy swipe of second base. The steal speeds factor, we finally have somebody that can actually steal a lot of bases more than just Akil Baddoo. And then having him go number 2 could help a lot too. This is a 4-seamer right to the center fielder's glove. He had good timing on it. Just hit it a little bit too hard and wasn't able to make any noise off of that. Now, of course, next up we have Gleyber Torres. Looking to get a couple of cracks in here. Maybe do something very clutch for the first time in this series already. That goes down the line. Third baseman slides and misses it. That'll easily score home Morris Jones from second base. Nice, easy work there to go ahead and increase our chances of winning this game already early. We're up 1-0. And it'll be Eric Haas up next. He watches on pitches. He goes over to first base with a walk. CJ Cron ends up popping out, so we'll go to Jonathan Scope here with 2 outs. He hits a liner up the middle. Great diving play by the shortstop. Making Gold Glove plays in spring training? Who would have thought? And next up, we got to watch Jackson Jobe make his 5th start of spring. 7 ERA in 15 1/3 innings. He's giving up 18 hits, 9 walks. So, I mean, the walk count is pretty high and alarming. But the strikeout count is pretty good, too, as well, with 15 of those things. So, we will watch and see what it's like pitching with him, but I think I for sure want to be able to have him up here at the major league level at this point. He's pitching great. I think he's a better overall than Joey Wentz by far, and if Joey Wentz can come up here and have success, I think he can too. So we'll definitely look and see what he can produce for us. As the first batter he faces will be Trey Turner, who lines one right up the middle to Morris Jones, who will come in and fire in for second base because that 97 speed is no joke. Got to make sure he keeps that just to a base hit. If you throw to the cutoff man, that's an easy chance for him to take second like he is right now on this steal attempt. Ooh, just barely beat out the throw. If that throw is low, he might get him. But because he didn't, it'll be an RBI base hit just like we had in the top half, and they will tie this game right back up 1-1. And this is with no out. So Jackson Jobe is already looking a little shaky. 6 pitches through, and finally just goes in and gets a nice out here to calm him down. Pop out the Scope, who will glove it. Great play. Kyle Schwarber up next, 0-2. Trying to get him to chase an upstairs 4-seamer. He's not going to fall for it. So 1-2, he'll come back. Swings over top of the slider. Great pitch right there. That's the reason I'm excited to bring him up. This slider has very, very good break. It's going to be something to worry about for these hitters. Seth Brown, 2-2. 2 outs. Swings and misses over top of the changeup. Great 2 strikeouts to go and finish that up and get out of the inning. Now we'll skip ahead to the top of the third. Akil Baddoo. This is going to be normal style, so a little bit less, about a hybrid in between just highlights and being able to see these players play. But we will go ahead and have Gleyber Torres come up next as he gets into a 3-1 count. He's able to check his swing on that 12-6 curve, and we have a runner on first base just like that. I don't know if we ain't going to skip past Akil Baddoo hitting that right to the pitcher. That was great awareness to be able to hold his glove up in time. But because of that, we have 1 out and got runners at first and second. Eric Haas will come in with a great chance to get some RBIs in here off Brady. And there it is. Hits the 3-run jack. That ball is gone. 3-run home run here in spring training to go ahead and get the team up, the boys up. 4-1, his 6th home run this spring. The power might be back. Could we see a career year out of Eric Haas? Only time will tell. But he might be trying to tell me not to go find another catcher just yet. We'll see. Spencer Torkelson will come in, rounded out in his first at bat, so getting his first or second crack at it here right after the home run here in the top of the 4th. He's got 2 home runs, tied for 3rd on the team throughout this spring. So like I said, the ball does jump off his bat as he gets a changeup right down the middle and is jumping yet again. Line drive into the outfield. That ball is gone. Solo shot home run from Spencer Torkelson. And he hits his 3rd of the spring. That should put him in 2nd place, or at least a tie for 2nd place. As he's showing off the power too as well. Makes it a 5-1 ball game. Great play to go ahead and get this team up, get this confidence up, and help out Jackson Jobe. We'll go ahead and stay with the bats. 2 outs later. Kill Badu is coming up here with a chance to maybe keep the rally going. This will be a slow dribbler up the second base. Throw will go in, be well behind him. Now we have speed over at first base. Glabber is up next. 1-0 count. We're going to go ahead and concede the strike there. Take off for second. He's in there. Now he's in score position with 2 outs. A base hit can score him. Makes it a little bit easier on Gleiber, who gets a slider up in the zone. Those were bars, and this will go up against the wall. It's going to be an RBI double for him. And now it is a 6-1 ball game. We are really running up this score right now, trying to really help out our team. Jackson Jobe is still out there in the bottom of the 4th. Now, they did take their start out, of course, just because they gave up a lot of runs. Here, I'm thinking at least get them 5 innings. We are closing in, getting to the regular season. It's time to start getting that arm a little bit looser, letting him pitch a little bit longer as he gives up a deep fly ball here. Jones is going to go back and glove it just before he gets to the warning track. Look at that speed. I think he's not faster than Matt Verlaine. So, I mean, we are losing speed in center field. But his stealing ability is better. His contact's better. And I think he's played overall better, especially through this spring, hitting well over 300 while Matt Verlaine, even with some chances to start, is hitting about 240, hitting sub 250. That outfield battle is looking kind of close, and it's not going the way that I thought it would at all. I thought Drew would step up, and it looks like Morris might be the one stepping up. As Joe, with 2 outs, gets a drop third strike here. We'll just throw it on down to first base nice and easily and get through that. Despite the little 2-out double right there, we go to the bottom of the 5th here. His last inning of work. We can go ahead and get through it 1-1 here to Sosa. Watches that curveball. Get behind Eric Haas at the plate. 2-1. Popped up. Shallow. Green's going to go ahead and come in for it and be able to glove it. Great play there for him as he's able to go ahead and make that work. And we will go ahead and go to Trey Turner next, who grounds this one over to Scope, who will just throw down to first base for the easy play. And we're able to go ahead and keep everything working here. 0-1, chopped on the ground, Torkelson. Great glove, great fielding. Takes it himself. That's a nice, strong 5 innings of work that he should be in line for a dub for. And now we're going to start going to our pinch hitters. Nick Solak is going to go ahead and come off the bench first here in the top of the 8th. I should have did it in the 7th, but just an inning behind. We'll see how many of these guys we can get up and at least see what kind of plate appearances they're able to have here. Facing off against Craig Kimbrell to go and get things started off. He has a quick 0-2 count. After missing the knuckle curve, he tries to throw him another one, and good timing, just chopped right back to the pitcher. Great awareness to make that play. I think if it gets past him, that might be a base hit. Up next will be Keith Clemens, 183 this spring training, and I don't think it'll be good enough to make the team this time. You have to go down to AAA, develop just a little bit more. Just don't think you are ready quite yet to come up here and make an impact, which I really was hoping that you were. I thought this would be the first rookie to come up here that I drafted. And he's trying to make me eat my words as that ball is gone. Just underneath the scoreboard. A solo home run here in the 8th inning to increase the lead to 7-1. Hitting it off Craig Kimbrell, too, is no easy task, especially for a young buck. Able to go ahead and make good, solid work of that. So that's 3 home runs in the spring. Looking pretty good, but once again, I think he'll start out at AAA and maybe just be a late season call-up with injury or if somebody's playing bad. Next up is Daniel Cabrera, who's hitting 308, even better. Then Keith Clemens, despite having a lower potential and lower overalls, he bloops that one into the outfield, increasing that 300 average, trying to maybe be one of the outfielders. Trying to say it's not just the Jones brothers and the 4 that we already got up. It's him too, Matt Verlaine, hitting 242 in this postseason or in this spring training. There it goes again. As we got a runner at first base, 1 out, and he's trying to look to maybe keep his starting spot, but right now it's not looking too good for him. 242, but does get a base hit here. No, it's robbed from him. Taken away from him. The runner will have to go all the way back. That was a lined rope. Great timing on that. Just unfortunately, an even better dive in the defensive field of play. And here I'm trying to see if you can actually sub out multiple people at once so I can stop going to the screen like every time a batter comes up and having to basically, pause the at bat, time out real quick and then go switch. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. If you guys know a better way to do more than 1 sub at a time, let me know. And I'll try to get that in the next one. Now here, we bring in Jake Rogers. He just watches all the pitches, goes in and goes over to first. We have Cesar Hernandez up next with a 148 average. He might not be able to even make the major league team this time around, so we'll have to see what he's able to kind of produce for us. As 2 outs, first pitch he sees will be a curveball off the side of the plate. He's going to go ahead and watch it. And we're not going to swing at this one as we launch this one way back. Going back at the wall, caught before the warning track. I thought that might have been a home run for a good second there, but unfortunately not able to go ahead and make that one work. As you can see, the guys are coming into the outfield. Cabrera in left, Jace Jung is second. Since he wasn't able to do anything in his at bat, we got Jake Rogers at catcher. Cesar Hernandez is going to go play third base. Yamisi Garcia is going to come in and try to close this one out for us, as he's had a pretty good spring training. He's had a great time up at the major league level for us. I feel pretty confident and comfortable with him, especially pitching with him. I feel pretty safe with leads in hand. And right now we have a 7-1 lead that we need to hold. Here's Jones. We'll go ahead and get underneath it. That is Drew Jones now in the center field marker, as he's able to get the first out. Next up is Solomon Davis. Watching that four-seamer in on the hands, not able to do anything with it. Pops this one. Cabrera is going to go out, range to his left, make the play here, catch it. And that'll be an easy 2 outs. As they're down to their final strike here is Keyston Herrera. Up next, 143 in the spring training season, as Garcia is going to run past it. And I think I've noticed a little bit of, glitch or whatever. Maybe you guys have noticed this too. If you preload it too early, sometimes they will not react to the ball. We've seen it happen twice now. This is the first time. The second time was with Gleyber Torres. I keep forgetting his name. Gleyber Torres earlier in the episode. If you just push it like a little bit too early, they, for whatever reason, don't react to the ball, and it just kind of goes past them, or they don't throw it. So a little bit of an issue that might need to get worked out. Maybe it's just my gameplay, or maybe this is known and everybody just knows how to fix it already. I could be a noob. Who knows? But we at least get the dub here today, man. I was so proud of the team. The offense looked great. The home runs were in full effect. We were getting hits, doubles. Everybody was having a fun game. Jackson Jobe did a great job in the starting spot. You see Gleyber Torres 2 hits. CJ Cron hit 2 hits. Everybody else kind of sprinkling across 1 hit all the way throughout, as Clemens, had that solo home run of his own. His 3rd to tie up with Spencer Torkelson now. Eric Costa's 6th. 3 RBIs gets him up to 14 in spring training. And then you look at Joe, had a great job. Garrett Hill, Ronnie Garcia, and Jason Foley were the guys that I thought to bring in to see if we could lower their ERAs a little bit. They ended up putting in good work. A couple of them getting strikeouts. But spring training is over, and let's see if you guys notice what just happened with that board. That'll be the only hint that I give you guys. Put it down in the comment section before I say it. And if you can do that, you'll be a part of the SmooveGotGame Hall of Fame. Here's the final spring training stats. Morris Jones led everybody in hits with 24. In 72 at bats, batting .333. I think he's earned his trip to the majors, y'all. I think he might stay up. Well, only time will tell when we get to the final roster move. He might have earned it. Spencer Torkelson as well. 22 hits and 71 at bats. .310 average. 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. Akil Baddoo batted .280. Up there in hits too as well. Eric Haas leading in home runs with Jonathan Scope right behind him at 5. Torkelson and Keith at 3, tied for 3rd place. Everybody hitting at a good average. Scope at .292. Haas at .269, which isn't too bad if you're going to at least give me power. But Daniel Cabrera, probably the most shocking player of the spring, batting .333. Only 27 at bats, so not a huge sample size, but definitely made the most of it when he was up there, hitting a third of the time being up there. Now I wanted to look at WAR too, just to see if it tell me anything. Jake Rogers and Eric Haas, our 2 catchers, actually ended up leading us. Of course, negative WAR is not a good thing with CJ Cron here, but 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, wound up taking that. And of course, I want to look at average for who might be going down. Ryan, Nick, Jace, Caesar, Drew, Keith, low-key even Riley. Nah, Riley ain't going nowhere, but everybody that I just named, they're on cut watch. Now, as far as pitchers go, I just wanted to see, strikeout counts. 28 for Severino. Joe, 21 through 20 in the 3rd innings is great. Despite having a 5 ERA, I mean, limited sample size, of course, but ERAs is looking pretty good for Hicks and Chafin. Mize is even looking good at 2.12 with a 1.12 whip. Matt Manning, 0.84 whip. Therese Duval, 1.18 whip. Those are 3 starters already looking good. I know Luis Severino can turn the season around even if he has a bad start. It'll just all be up to Jackson Jobe then at that point. So I think we have a good starting 5. And bullpen-wise, I think they're pretty good too as well. You see here, Jackson Jobe, 9.3 strikeout per 9. It's pretty good. Might lead the team in strikeouts too if he can keep up that kind of work. Phipps are all looking pretty good. We got a lot of people under the 4 marker there. A lot more than I thought we would have. Jobe is only slightly over with the 4.1. So I think this team is very strong. And of course, it comes down to whip and all that stuff on what's going down. But as far as roster moves, Joey Wentz, I think it's time that we go ahead and send him down. He will not make the roster. We will not keep 6 starting pitchers up this time around. We will keep up Tyler Alexander to go to be that long reliever. I think he'll have a bounce back season. The time he was up here being long reliever, he was great. And we also have Jordan Hicks who can eat up innings, and Anderson Espinosa who can eat up innings as well. Foley and Garcia, I don't believe are ready for the major league level, so I'm going to go ahead and send both of those 2 down as well to AAA. Everywhere else, position-wise, is looking good. Jace Jung will get that move down to AAA. I just don't think he's ready yet, although he is better than Cesar Hernandez or not Cesar Hernandez, but Nick Manning. Ryan Kreidler will go ahead and go down to AAA too as well. Nick Manning, he's going to go ahead and go down to AAA. I think we got a good spot there with Baez and Clemens, even though Baez will probably be the starter. Clemens will stay up, just be the backup off the bench, is what I ended up deciding. Now, as far as outfielders, it was just a tough decision between Nick Solak and Daniel Cabrera. I ended up deciding to go ahead and let Daniel Cabrera go down to AAA. I can always bring him back up, but I feel like it'd be a waste of a Rule 5 if I didn't at least give him the start of the regular season. So I go ahead and just decide to go ahead and send down Daniel Cabrera to go ahead and go down to AAA. Nick Solak is going to be the one to stay up. And I know y'all saw there too. Yes, Morris Jones is staying up on the big league roster. Drew Jones is going down to AAA to develop a little bit more, but it might be time for Morris Jones to go ahead and get some help here. Now, yeah, I had to double click and go back into it to look. Your time's up. For whatever reason, the start of the regular season went back in time. Spring training ended. The very last game was on the 28th, and somehow the regular season is going to start on the 27th. Don't ask me how. I don't know. I don't know how the game messes something like that up. Let me know if you guys have ever seen that glitch or just think it's funny. But I thought it was pretty hilarious. There's a look at the starting lineup, as well as here goes the starting rotation, as we will be having Garrett Hill and Tyler Alexander both up at the same time. Jordan Hicks is up, Yabisi, Anderson, and Andrew. Joe will be the 5th starter. Casey Mize will be the 3, Manning the 4, Luis Severino 2, and then Tree Screwball the 1, with Alex Lane still at closer. So if you guys are ready for yet another season, man, we will go ahead and definitely get into it. We definitely want to spotlight and highlight some of the young guys that are coming up as far as their first debuts. And make sure they get the spotlight that they deserve, being up at the major league level for the very first time. So you guys let me know what you guys think. Did I make the right roster moves to make this team better? And what are your final record predictions down below? Please let that be known. Do you think we're going to win 90, 80? Do you think we'll get to 100? Do you think we match last year's record? Do you think we get worse? Do you think we do better in the postseason, even if we do get worse, but still make the postseason, win the division? Let me know all those types of predictions down below, and we'll go ahead and have another fun season, man. If you're ready for year 3, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will go ahead and catch you guys in the next videos with your boy SGG, aka the King of Games, aka SmooveGotGame, and I will catch you guys in the next video. I'm out.